Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable snow globe shaker photo ornaments that you can make for your tree or to give as gifts to loved ones. We're going to use some basic supplies today. We've got Cratfoam. I'm using the glitter variety, ribbon, glitter, scissors, some circle die cuts, and transparencies. And we're going to put it all together with the Xyron Creative Station. It makes crafting a breeze, and you are going to see how easy it can be to craft with this machine. I want to thank Xyron for sponsoring this video today. The Xyron Creative Station comes preloaded with a 9-inch wide roll of permanent adhesive, and that's what we're going to use for our project today. Other refills are available though, so you can find exactly what you need for your next project. I'm going to start off by putting in some white craft foam that I have trimmed to 4 inches wide because I don't want to do a whole sheet for my project. And I'm also going to put in the glitter sheet at the same time. You want to make sure you make best use of that whole width of your adhesive so you don't have very much waste. Once you have caught the material between the rollers, all you have to do is crank the handle to feed it through. Now I'm going to put another sheet of the glitter foam because I need 2 sheets per project, and that way I won't waste that extra adhesive that would be left over on that strip. I hope that makes sense. You want to feed it through, and then it's going to come through the other side. Once the material has come all the way through the machine, it has had its adhesive applied, and all you need to do is drag the little cutter blade across the film and it will release it from the machine. When you take a material out of your Creative Station, you want to make sure you rub over the surface really well, and that's going to press the adhesive down to the surface and also help it break from the clear film, so that way you don't have little bits of adhesive hanging off the edge. It's kind of like a pressure type of tape there. And I'm going to slice these 2 pieces apart because I need to put adhesive on the opposite side of the white fun foam. The white fun foam is going to make our shaker frame, and I want it to be sticky on both sides. So after making sure I press it down really well and I break the adhesive film, I am going to peel off the clear side and put that back through the machine upside down. Just remember, the adhesive is applied to the bottom of the substrate that you're putting through your machine. So here I am starting with the fun foam on one side, and I'm getting another piece of glitter foam. Remember, glitter side up, adhesive on the bottom. And we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before. Now it's time to do some die cutting. I've got my photos, my transparencies, my circle dies, my die cutting machine, and of course the fun foam that we have already prepared. I'm going to start off by trimming my photos down to the size of my shaker ornaments, and I'm just going to use my round large circle die to do this. The size you cut your photo will be the overall dimension of your snow globe ornament. I used a large one here because it's a picture of all 3 of my kids, but I can do a smaller circle too if I want to make a smaller ornament, like if you have just a photo of a single child. Now we're going to cut the shaker frame. So you want to start off with your largest size. That would be the size you cut your photo, the largest one. And we're going to run that right through our die cut machine. I find that the thin dies do a great job at cutting through this craft foam, but if you have an area that didn't cut all the way through, you can always finish it up with a pair of scissors. Now we're going to center a smaller circle die over the large circle that we just cut. Remember, there's adhesive on both sides, and that release paper on the fun foam can be a little bit slippery, so I'm using a piece of tape just to secure it down so it does stay centered up. And then we'll just crank that right through the machine again, and we will have our shaker frame. So you'll need to make one of these for every one of the ornaments you're making. If you have a smaller size, you can actually cut frames within frames within frames, and I'll show you how to use up the extra ones at the end of the video. So there you can see we have our frame. Don't take the sticky paper off yet. You want to keep that release paper on there. For each ornament, you're going to need a backing piece. This will be the back side of the ornament, and I'm going to cut that out with the same die I cut my photo with using the green glitter fun foam. If you want to save some money, you could use cardstock for this, but the fun foam is going to last a lot longer. We also need a front frame for our ornament, so we're going to cut another large circle out of the glitter foam, and this time you are going to cut a smaller circle out of that circle, just like we did our shaker inside piece, and this will be the outside frame for our ornament. You're also going to need a piece of transparency film the same size as each of your photos, so just cut them with the same dies you used for your original photos out of clear transparency film. Now it's time to put our ornament together. You want to begin by removing the backing paper from your large piece of fun foam. Remember, this is the back of our ornament. Then you're going to take a piece of ribbon and just press it onto that sticky backing. Make sure you leave some space between the ends of the ribbon so that there'll be plenty of adhesive for your photo to grab to. And then just very carefully line up the photo over the backing so you don't have anything sticking out. These should fit perfectly. If they don't, you can always trim them with scissors later though. Next, remove the adhesive backing from one side of your white foam ring. Remember, you put adhesive on both sides of this. And then very carefully try to line it up over your photo, matching the edges of the back piece of fun foam. Again, they're all the same size and they should line up pretty perfectly. Once you have your frame aligned, you want to press down on all the edges to make sure that it's sealed down well. You wouldn't want any of your glitter to fall through the cracks. And then simply fill up the shaker window. I'm going to use a combination of glitter and mylar confetti and some kind of sparkly chunkier glitter. Anything that's not too thick is going to work really well for this. I decided to keep it in shades of white so that it would look like snow. Now very carefully peel off the backing paper from your frame, being careful not to upset the ornament because you don't want that glitter to fly everywhere. And carefully take your transparency sheet and line that up with your frame, and that's going to keep everything inside your ornament. Then peel the backing off of the glitter foam frame and stick that down on top of everything. Isn't that cute? Now you could call this project finished at this point, but if you don't like seeing the white foam on the edge, or maybe your elements weren't lined up perfectly, I'm going to show you how to make it look a little bit neater. So the first thing you're going to do is take some of that release paper from your Xyron Creative Station permanent adhesive, save those pieces because they make perfect disposable palettes. And I put out a little bit of acrylic paint to match my glitter foam, and I'm going in and painting all the way around my ornament. While the paint's still wet, I'm going to sprinkle on some glitter, and that is really going to tie it all together and make it look really finished. And do that over a piece of folded paper so you can pour the excess glitter back into the container. And there you have it. Doesn't that look adorable? Now I know what you might be thinking, Lindsay, the project is really cute, but what about all the wasted elements there? What about all that leftover glitter foam and that white foam? What are you going to do with that? Well, don't worry, we're not going to throw it away. We're actually going to make some extra tags and ornaments using the scraps. So the first thing you want to do is take the rest of that white foam that you put the adhesive on the front and the back and cut a bunch of concentric circles. And that's going to make shaker frames that we can use in other projects. Don't throw away any of the white scraps because those can be used as dimensional adhesives on cards and scrapbook pages. Now you want to go ahead and cut concentric circles out of all of your glitter foam scraps as well. Now you want to look in your stash of scrapbook paper and see if you have any Christmas pattern paper that's got small icons like this, and stick the foam white frames on top. Now simply use scissors to trim around the foam frames so you have a cute little circle with an image inside. Carefully pour glitter in the center of your frame just like we did with the snow globe ornament, and remove the backing paper from the white portion. Again, being careful not to spill the glitter. Now this time you're going to just place a scrap of transparency film right over your frame here. And it's okay if it's not a perfect match because we're going to trim off the excess with our scissors. I find it's much easier to trim the transparencies from behind, so flip your little ornament over and just carefully trim off the excess transparency. Then remove the backing from one of your glitter foam frames, just like we did with the ornament, but this time we're going to stick the ribbon ends onto the frame to hide them. That way you'll have a hanging tag or ornament depending on how you want to use it. And then just press that down on top of your little shaker, and there you have a really cute gift tag or ornament or fun little project that you can do with your kids actually. It's a great way to use up the scraps, and then you have a whole batch of these delightful little pieces. And this is a really great use for leftover wrapping paper, leftover scrapbook paper. I mean, you name it. There's so many options here, and I mean, they're just so adorable, and they're made from scraps. So I hope this inspires you to get out your supplies and make some fun things this holiday season. I really want to thank Xyron for sponsoring this video, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the Creative Station. There's so many different refills you can find for this for whatever projects you have coming up, from laminating to making magnets to cute little ornaments like this. And there you can see these sweet little ornaments on my Christmas tree. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you give this project a try. Until next time, happy crafting.